Hey Mystics, it's your girl Lily Moon here, and I am here to deliver the Astro Tea of April 2025. I'm going to break down the cosmos, get into the cards, and then we will see what else Spirit has to say. This is going to be a month of breakthroughs and a huge exhale, okay? Lots of weight coming off of our shoulders, okay? We are finally out of eclipse season, technically, while you're watching this. However, the solar eclipse we just had, okay, in Aries, this new moon will grow into the full moon in Libra on the 12th of April. So although we are technically out of eclipse season, there is still some ecliptic energy in the air, okay? So what does this mean for us in the cosmos? What does this mean for us in regards to our plans? Are we in the good? Are we in the clear to sign contracts, etc.? I'm going to get into all of this. Now, I just wanted to say to everyone, I hope you have a wonderful April. I hope that April reminds you that the divine is always counting you in when it comes to miracles. And I hope that you remember that even when you're not feeling whole, you are always complete. Okay, always, always, always. And obviously, when the material realm catches up to our spiritual growth, that's always a plus. But just remember that in those in-between stages when there's work being done behind the scenes and you're not really sure what that work is, just know there is work being done on your behalf behind the scenes, okay? So still practice your gratitude and do whatever you have to do to carry yourself through that time period, okay? Without harming yourself. Don't self-sabotage, okay? Support yourself through it because you can, okay? Now, what is happening in April? There is a lot happening in April. One of the first things we're going to be having this April is a sextile between Saturn in Pisces and Uranus in Taurus. Both of these outer planets are at the 24th degree of their signs, and so they will be creating a sextile exact on April 4th, okay? That's when it goes exact, but this is already technically happening. And so what does this mean? This means that the things that have really great foundations, the things that we have been adjusting and, just fine tuning potentially from when Saturn entered Pisces, or maybe even just for the last few months, whatever that project or thing may be, maybe it's ourself even, okay? There is a spark of inspiration and a desire for a little bit of change in this area. It doesn't have to be anything massive. It doesn't have to be anything major. It could simply be something as easy as, you know what, I have been doing this routine of going to the gym and going to a particular yoga class because that is exercising my body. It helps me detach. It helps me become one with myself and my spirit. It helps me regulate my nervous system because there is breathing techniques in that class, right? And because it's helping improve our posture, our skeletal system, it is actually a devotion to Saturn. Maybe this is the long-term thing you have been working on, and maybe you're making a switch from the 6 a.m. class to an 8 a.m. class because the 8 a.m. class is a hot yoga class, and now you're entering the space of detox. Just an example, okay? It doesn't always have to be a project, okay? But because it's Saturn, it's usually the things that are really going to define our legacy and the things that we will be remembered for when we leave here, okay? Because as a reminder, time is of the essence. So this minor little change, again, it could be so micro, so tiny, and so simple, but it's going to have a huge impact, okay, in a way that's going to bring us closer to our goals, okay? So take note of what happens on the day of April 4th. That's 4-4, okay, 44. And understand that whatever changes or things that you might be attracted to that day, there's possibly a reason behind it. And if you really want to know if that's true, just ask for the confirmation, just ask for the clarity. The divine speaks to all of us in different ways. So ask for that clarity and trust that you will receive it, okay? So that's happening on April 4th. Also on April 4th, much later on in the evening, we're going to have the first quarter moon in Cancer, which means that the sun will be squaring off to the moon in Cancer. Okay, so for my cardinal signs, my Cancers, my Aries, my Libras, my Capricorns, this is a week where you might feel like the gunk of the eclipse is still on you, okay? There's just a little bit more patience required this week. And, you know, whatever minor blockages or issues or icks you're dealing with, just know it is very minor, and remind yourself if it's not going to matter in 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, we let it go. Okay? Don't let these things stress you out. We've got other ish to be dealing with, respectfully. Now, that first quarter moon, once that first quarter moon happens, we are officially in the full moon sort of energy, okay? And the themes of the full moon and how that full moon will play out for us in the months to come can slowly start to show up at this time under that first quarter moon in Cancer. Now, because the moon will be in Cancer, we do have Mercury and Venus both in water signs as well. They are currently in Pisces. And Lilith recently just entered Scorpio, okay, the Black Moon Lilith. So this is going to be a heightened amount of water, again, kind of like what we had during Pisces season, right? And so the first quarter moon is going to pick up on whatever information or delays or confirmations we've been looking for from the Mercury retrograde, okay? And if it wasn't clear in those dreams, Mercury is going to station direct in Pisces on April 7th, okay? And so honestly and truly, you guys, I believe the first week of April is going to have a lot of intuitive downloads, a lot of synchronicities, a lot of coincidences, a lot of things like a song stuck in your head and then going in an Uber and that song is playing on the radio, or you might hear a phrase on TV or in a show you're watching, whatever it may be, and then somebody you speak to a couple days later says that exact same phrase, okay? This is the divine, okay? This is the divine. This would be a really great week to obviously tap into some meditation, okay, and connect with your ancestors. If you tap into ancestral veneration, which I hope all of y'all are doing, please. Pluto's in Aquarius, get to the work. Or if you have, you know, a god, a goddess that you like to venerate and honor, this is a week to really bring them something extra sweet. Bring them something extra that really shows your gratitude. Maybe it's the more expensive bouquet of flowers. Maybe it's a bigger bottle of their favorite libation, okay? But just bring something to show your gratitude. Don't wait till the new moon in Taurus to do that, okay? Start doing those things now, okay? This is gonna be a really great week for positive changes and shifts to happen because we have Mercury stationing direct. So the delays we were experiencing, whether it was through mail, deliveries that we're waiting for, traveling delays, okay? Delays and issues with things that we're trying to work with, technology, etc. These things will slowly start to melt a little bit as Mercury finally stations direct. Now, on April 12th, we then have the full moon in Libra. The full moon in Libra happens on April 12th, okay? And an hour after, well, not even an hour, 30 minutes after the full moon in Libra is exact at its opposition, Venus, who rules Libra as well as Taurus, will station direct in the sign of Pisces, which is Venus's exalted sign. So this full moon, I believe, is going to be a really great moment of harmony felt and peace felt and satisfaction. I really believe that April is going to bring a lot of satisfaction for us as a collective because we've been doing the work and we have been doing our best to be patient and to hold on as we've been guided so many times. And I know it's really freaking annoying to hear that ish, but trust me, it always pays off. So this full moon in Libra is going to be like a gentle hug from the divine, and it's going to be one that, of course, is going to highlight our relationships, personal, romantic, platonic, okay, business relationships, long-term affairs, legal matters, contracts, binds, okay? These are all things of Libra. These are all things of the 7th house. So those regular themes and expected themes of Libra will also be there. But I really think the focus is really about how have we treated ourselves over the last couple of months? How have we improve the relationship with ourselves over the last few months? And what have we learned? What are some new things about ourselves that we are grateful for? What are some new things we've learned about our community? Okay, how have we connected deeper with our community? These are some things we can reflect on during the full moon in Libra. That full moon in Libra will happen at the 23rd degree. However, in those first early moments when the moon first enters Libra, okay, the moon will make a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. So there is going to be this understanding of community, our friend groups, our social groups also slowly transitioning into something different. Maybe us, you know, having an important conversation about boundaries and the roles we play in our friendships, being a empathetic person, okay, a sympathetic person more than anything, and listening to what our community has to say, you know, and taking in that feedback and know that it's coming from a good place and not a place to hurt us. For some others, this full moon is really about boundaries, like I mentioned before, cutting cords, okay? Stop wasting time, stop delaying your own blessings. When you cut that cord, your blessings will just flood in. Like, it'll be so much. Oh, it'll be overwhelming in the most beautiful way possible, okay? Like a Dior perfume. It will be everything you've dreamed of and more, but first you have to cut the cord, okay? You cannot bring everyone with you. This full moon in Libra will also highlight that as well. Venus going direct in Pisces can highlight some things about closure and forgiveness of the self. Okay, really tending to our heart centers, but also our solar, okay, our solar plexus is also being highlighted during this full moon in Libra. Okay, so that's what's happening in that week of April. Now, we also have Mercury returning to the sign of Aries in April. So Mercury again goes direct April 7th, but Mercury will finally re-enter Aries on April 16th, which is just a few days after the full moon in Libra. So this full moon is really going to have a whole lot of conversations going on, a whole lot of confirmations going on, and possibly some quick movement as well that we are wanting, because Libra is a cardinal sign. Okay, and finally, to really kick things off into gear and for us to really just get back into our lanes and get back into our zone and take off, Mars is going to enter Leo on the 18th of April. Mars will finally be in Leo. Mars went direct in Cancer on February 23rd, but has been slowly, you know, making their way out of Cancer and finally into Leo again as of April 18th. So if you feel as though despite these retrogrades, you know, coming to an end, and eclipse season coming to an end, you still feel like there's just too much going on or not enough going on, when Mars enters Leo, honey, it is going to be a different vibe. And I feel like everyone's energy is just going to be so tuned up. I'm so excited for us. Now, right after that, the day after Mars enters Leo, the sun will finally enter Taurus, okay? We'll finally have Taurus season, treat yourself season. Every day is self-care day season, okay? Yes, extra cheese and bacon on the burger season, okay? Extra Parmesan, fresh, not that grated nonsense season, okay? It's the season of luxury. It's the season of having all the audacity to ask for more and also give thanks and pour into thyself, okay? It's the season of sensuality and just being proud of ourselves and allowing ourselves to actually stop and smell the flowers that have been given to us by others, and the flowers that we gave to ourselves but have neglected. This is the season to pour back into thyself and really be our own hype man, okay? That is what Taurus is always about, okay? Taurus is ruled by Venus, so this is going to be the first new zodiac season where Venus and Mercury are direct, okay? We are also at this point in time moving moving closer and closer to Beltane, which is that halfway point between, the halfway point between Samhain. So there's also this portal of opportunity that is being opened as well as our guides and our loved ones seem and feel closer to us, okay, in that week when the sun moves into Taurus. Now, when the sun enters Taurus, we're actually going to have our our third quarter moon pretty close, okay? And that's going to take place at the 1st degree of Aquarius, which means right when we enter Taurus season, we're going to have a 3rd quarter moon, so the moon squaring off to the sun, conjunct to Pluto, because Pluto is in Aquarius as well. So there's this pressure and maybe a hyper fixation on how things are supposed to look, you know? Oh my gosh, April's almost coming to an end. It's almost May. It's almost summertime. I'm not where I want to be physically with my goals. This is not working out the way that I want to. This hasn't happened yet, you know, and kind of getting that comparison space. So just remember to start off Taurus season on the best foot possible. And if not, start it in a luxurious hotel, okay, or in like a comfy bed with like fresh duvet and fluffiest pillows, okay, strawberries, whipped cream, iced coffee, iced matcha, whatever your pleasure, okay? And start it in a really soft manner, because that pressure coming from yourself that's like, okay, I want to get to work, is very real. And I'm not saying you should ignore that, okay? I'm not saying you should ignore it, but just tune it up a little bit, you know, and make it work for you. While this 3rd quarter moon will be taking place, we will also have Saturn and the North Node making exact conjunction to each other at the 26th degree of Pisces, honey. So this is also where the pressure is coming from as well. It's not just all on Pluto, it's also on Saturn, right? Because Saturn is conjunct to the North Node. The North Node is about the future, okay, the hope that we have for the future. What are we focusing on? Where are we putting all of our attention to? What has been growing all this time under our noses? Okay, and is it in alignment? Is this really what we want to commit to? What are we committing to for the future? This is what the North Node and Saturn conjunct is going to be kind of teaching us and having us ponder about, okay? And if we want to make some adjustments to some long-term goals and ideas, this is a great time to start. When the sun enters Taurus, you guys, anything that you want to sign, contracts, whatever, I would say is a great time to do so. If you want to do it before Taurus season starts, wait at least until Mercury goes direct, and that's on April 7th. And if that contract or thing has to do with arts, you know, or a relationship or, you know, abundance in some ways, and you being paid for that, then wait until at least the full moon in Libra. But for myself personally, I'm gonna wait until Taurus season respectfully, because at that point, we'll have the North Node conjunct to Saturn, which can bring on this strength and stability and confidence in the things that we are planting at this time, okay? And then on the 27th of April, we will have the new moon in Taurus, okay? And this is going to be a wonderful new moon because it's the first moon cycle where we are completely detached from the ecliptic energy. The moon is exalted in Taurus, meaning the moon loves to be in Taurus the most. So honey, mystics, get that ish information, okay? Get the candles, okay, get the incense, get the offerings, okay, get the outfit, get the shower routine, ritual stuff, everything. Make the entire new moon an event for yourself, not just the moment of, but make the whole day, the weekend, whatever it is, make it an event for yourself, okay? Turn it into a higher self day from start to finish, okay? Make it an event. Romanticize the F of your life under this new moon in Taurus, okay? And allow your heart to guide you, okay? Your heart center. When I think about Taurus, I think about emeralds and greens, okay? And jades and abundance, of course, the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress card of the tarot. These are the things I think about when I think of Taurus. And all of these archetypes require a high level of trust and faith in the divine. so that things can flow naturally and with ease, okay? Honey moves very slow, but honey lasts basically forever, okay? So that is the energy we want to move into as we enter Taurus season and as we are celebrating that new moon in Taurus. And on the last day of April, Venus will finally enter Aries again. So for the Aries placements and the Libra placements, this is going to be probably sparking up some things that came up during the Venus retrograde. But this time around, you're in more control and you're in a whole different headspace and heart space than you were during the Venus retrograde, okay? So the nostalgia is probably going to be high, okay? The horniness is going to be higher. But you know, at the end of the day, it's all about aligning ourselves with what we know is going to serve us best. What is truly worth the investment, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically? Those are the things we want to align with. And those things are not necessarily the things that require all this ridiculous heavy lifting, huffing and puffing and sweating and looking like a hot mess. Those things don't necessarily require that, okay? So really dig deep. Sit with the stillness. The divine's favorite language is silence. So sit with that stillness and know that your instincts will guide you. This month, you guys, everything's gonna change, okay? It's gonna be so good, and I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. It's a fixed sign energy we're entering, okay? Taurus is the fixed sign, so if we are stubborn and choose to be very rigid, okay, and dig our heels in our paranoia, we're not gonna see that fruitful fruition take place, okay? So it's really important we allow ourselves to just relax and enjoy the moments that we are in and be where our feet are, okay? This past eclipse season and back-to-back retrogrades has been a lot, okay? Especially for the cardinal signs, my dears. I know y'all are holding on by a thread. Mutable signs do too. But April is a new chapter. April really feels like the true beginning of spring, okay? And things just feel better at this time of year. And just with the shift of weather and the shift of our mindset can make so many miracles come to life, okay? So again, discernment, pay attention to those dreams in the first week of April. Get your dream journals out, okay? Write down everything that comes to you. Even the things that don't make sense, write those down too. Those are all going to be messages decoded later on. Allow yourself to be guided by your heart space and your excitement, your highest excitement, and treat yourself to some good things during Taurus season, okay? Okay, we're gonna get to some cards now. I want to start from the very beginning of the zodiac. Okay, so Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is for you, my dears. What is happening for our Aries, Sun, Moon, Risings during the month of April? Okay, Aries, you guys are still in your season actually, so I'm gonna actually wish you a happy Aries season because we are still in Aries season, okay? We still have a lot of Aries season left to live through and move through. But Aries, what is April looking like for you? The first cards we have from the Rider-Waite's Tarot I'm using today are the Page of Swords and the Fool. So Aries, this month for you, it's about communication, okay? It's about allowing yourself to be heard and allowing yourself to be seen, allowing your inner child to be seen, to be heard. Part of this also requires you to speak up for yourself, okay? And remember that closed mouths don't get fed. Now, Aries, this can also require some alone time, some solitude, so you can gather your feelings and your thoughts all together and deliver them in a way that really shows that you know how to communicate without getting upset or hot-headed or distracting the conversation because you feel like you have to defend yourself so much and over-explain yourself so much, okay? And this will allow you to have more control, okay? And speak from your heart space, okay? It's time to kind of take off that armor you've been wearing for a long time and let your feelings come out. Now, with the Fool card, Aries, this is obviously talking about a new cycle beginning. A new cycle is beginning. And with this card I'm going to show you next, I'm actually also using an oracle deck called the Soul's Journey, okay? So we have this grief card coming up. And what's interesting is that it's very orange, this card, which I understand and connect to as the sacral, okay? So Aries placements, there is a lot of pent up emotions in your hips, your pelvic area, okay? So doing a pelvic steam, a yoni steam, actually doing some stretches, some yoga, some whatever it looks like for you is gonna help you with this release. You have been mourning something for quite some time, Aries, and that's okay. Take your time doing that, but also recognize that it's also okay to move on. And I feel like April is your time where you're finally gonna move on. Maybe the full moon in Libra is going to bring this major moment of release for you, where you'll actually even maybe write a letter, okay? Writing a letter to your younger self, writing a letter to the version of self that went through this grief, okay? Or the person or thing you're grieving, and allowing that stuff to finally come out so you can make some space. It's time to make some space, okay, Aries? So take your time, you know, going through that. But Aries, I think it'd be a really, really great month for you to actually start a journal meditation, okay? So if you don't write in a journal on a regular daily basis, Aries, this is going to be a great month to start, okay? This will help you process your emotions a lot better. You may feel even a whole lot better just having them on paper, okay? You can use that as a petition and burn that paper later on if you want to. But it's really about getting your mind decluttered, okay? So that you can finally focus and get your head back in the game, honey, okay? Happy birthday, Aries. I hope y'all have been having a wonderful month ahead, okay? Taurus, sun, moon, risings. This is when your season starts, my loves. Are you excited? I'm excited. I am so excited for Taurus season, respectfully. I am so excited for Taurus season. As a Venetian, I live for Taurus season, honey. So shout out to all the Tauruses that are watching. Now, Taurus, what is coming for you this month ahead? According to the cards, we have, I'm gonna pull a few cards for you, Taurus, because it is your birthday / season, okay? Taurus, from the tarot, we have for you the Knight of Swords, which I absolutely love, and the World. So Taurus, there is something that is about to push through and come through very, very quickly. I wouldn't be surprised, Taurus, if you are very busy this month, okay? It's giving booked and busy. You're gonna be really much on the go, possibly even traveling, okay, this month. But this is going to be a very, very fast month where it feels like everything is happening all at once. Now, Taurus, that being said, we also have the World card here. So as you are speeding through this month, there's a lot of cycles that are also coming to an end. Things that are going to kind of show up that are going to highlight, listen, this contract is over. You served your time. You can move on up now, okay? There are going to be certain things, conversations even, that are very healing, I believe, that'll be taking place this month. And this could be happening during the full moon, okay? Because we also have your planet ruler Venus going direct that same day. And it's really a moment of healing, I believe, but definitely some closure as well. It's almost like, Taurus, the moment you decide you're over something and you're ready to experience something new, just that quickly, a portal is closed and a new one appears, okay? I love this for you. Now, Taurus, with that being said, I pulled 3 oracle cards for you, and the first one we have is worry. Now, this one says, I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome, which is facts. So, Taurus, we have the worry card here. We have the success card here. And we also have the humor card here. Now, Taurus, worry. What are you worried about? Are you worried about what's going to happen to this person once you drop them? Are you worried about what's going to happen about something you know you have absolutely no control over? What is the tea, Taurus? What's going on? Worrying does not serve you, and it is so below you. So whatever this thing is that has you worrying, I don't even feel like it's really for you, Taurus, because that's not really who you are. Taurus, success is your middle name. Okay, that is what the S in Taurus stands for, honey. It stands for success. So even though there is this that's kind of showing up, and that could be because things are happening so quickly, you might be concerned that you're not able to hold everything the way that you want to. However, we have this humor card coming in. So Taurus, I actually feel as though your inner child is going to come out a little bit to play. So having some play dates with your inner child planned for this month ahead would serve you really well. Humor is the poor man's medicine, okay? Humor is something we can tap into at any time through various, spaces. But humor is about remembering to see things cup half full, and to not to take life so seriously. And Tauruses, with that third quarter moon happening right as we enter your season, there could be some pressure felt. Okay, there's going to be some squares happening in the cosmos, and therefore for you as well. And this is not going to feel very comfortable. I'm not going to lie, it's not going to feel comfortable. But in those moments when things are really tense, you can also choose to just let go, and have some fun. If things are all blocked up at a moment in time, instead of worrying about them, shift your focus. Go and do something that's going to make your inner child have a good time, okay? Not only will it help release some emotional blockages, it'll help you remember to stay present as well, okay, Taurus? So there's closure going on for you this month ahead. There's abundance and success coming this month ahead for you, of course. But you're being reminded to not take things so seriously, Taurus. You've been working so hard, and that's great, but you always work really hard, Taurus. Allow yourself to kind of take a moment to take it all in, and allow yourself to even connect with your friends. I feel like you probably have some friends who've been reaching out and asking you to hang out, and you've been, busy. And I get it, Taurus, I get it, but don't forget to leave space for fun. All work and no play makes Taurus a dull bull, okay? Yes. Okay, we're moving on to Gemini. Gemini, sun, moon, risings. Geminis, how are you doing, my dears? Your planet Mercury has been retrograde for quite some time, and this has been a doozy because it was starting in Aries and now back in Pisces. So there could be some discomfort there with the squares going on if you have your Gemini placements at the later degrees. But with that being said, my dears, your planet is going to be moving direct this month, so things will start to feel less foggy really soon. But Mercury won't leave Pisces and finally enter Aries until the 16th of April. So hang in there, my dears. Okay, give yourself some grace this month because you're slowly coming out of the fog due to these eclipses and retrogrades, okay? All right, Gemini. The first cards I pulled for you were actually the Oracle, and we have for you pride and forgiveness. So, Geminis, pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. This is talking about mirrors. This is talking about deep reflection. This is talking about, your network is your net worth, okay? And the people that you are closest to represent you in some ways, whether you like that or not, honey. And so this card is reminding you to take pride in how you carry yourself, because there's a part of your community within you as well, and there's a part of them, there's a part of you in them in return. So Gemini, as your planet is going direct this month, and as we have a full moon in Libra, right, an air sign just like you, there could be this reflection on, okay, what have you done for me lately? I have been showing up, I have been doing my part, I have been patient, I have shown grace as I'm supposed to, as a friend, as a partner in this community, and I don't really feel like that is being reciprocated. If that feels accurate to you, Gemini, it might be time to kind of, I'm not saying cut your friends off or anything like that, no, but have a conversation, and talk about what your expectations are of being in community with people. It's okay, Gemini, to have expectations of your community, okay? We are in a different timeline now where community and knowing who we stand with and knowing that that community has integrity and our morals and values align to some basic human decency, at least, okay, is very important. And you have to understand if your people are going to ride for you or not, Gemini. So that pride is there as a thing of protection, because you're not going to just sit here and be fed breadcrumbs in any relationships or connection. That's not who you are, okay? Now, Geminis, we also have the forgiveness card showing up here for you, which shows, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So Geminis, forgiveness, 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 forgiveness. This resentment, this anger is completely normal, okay? And no one can take that away from you, okay? Whatever you are upset about and are maybe even waiting on an apology about, you have every right to be upset and you have every right to expect an apology. However, Gemini, this person, this thing that you're dealing with is just not there yet. And so waiting on a apology is just not going to happen. So Geminis, understand this. When you forgive this person, it's not for them, it's for you, okay? And when you do that, the things that have been feeling blocked from you will no longer feel that way. Now, Gemini, the tarot card we have for you for this month is Strength. So Geminis, take your time this month. Like I mentioned earlier, there is still some fog that is clearing up and it's going to take some time, but also have that patience and grace that you expect others to extend to you. Make sure you're also giving it to the ones that are showing up for you, that are a beautiful divine reflection of who you are, and that are willing to take accountability if there is a conversation, okay? Outside of that, Gemini, this is a month all about community and connection and conversations. And it's also a huge, huge, huge month about slowing down and not having burnout, okay? Have patience. We are literally coming out of eclipse season and retrograde season, honey. So stop rushing yourself and stop comparing yourself to these other people. You are not them and they're not you. And that is a gift, okay? So Geminis, take it easy, okay? And allow yourself to be cared for and pampered, okay? Don't feel like you have to do so much heavy lifting. It's okay to rest here, Gemini. Okay, Cancers. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. What do we have for our Cancers? Cancers, you are going to have a very beautiful month ahead because we have this new moon taking place in your sign, okay? Well, actually not in your sign, but in your in the exalted sign that your celestial body, which is the moon, likes to be in. So Cancers, this is going to be a really great month for you. Okay, boom. So Cancers, it feels like you've been doing a lot of deep healing work, and I assume that is mostly the outcome of the work you were doing from the past Mars retrograde. And while Mars is still in your sign, Cancers, there is still a lot of movement and adjustments to be had. You are still getting used to this new life that you are building, okay? And with that being said, Cancer, there has come this moment of acceptance of where you are and understanding that what is meant for you will be with you, okay? Will not abandon you, and it will always affirm you. Why? Because what is meant for you that affirms you is from the divine. Anything else that takes up too much time space, energy, exhaustion out of you is not for you. So you are accepting things as they are and understanding, Cancer, that you know what? I know I didn't come to this far to only come this far. I know the divine has a plan for me. I know that my ancestors have a plan for me. I know that my higher self, my Ori, has a plan for me. So instead of me sitting here worrying that I'm gonna get stuck in this mud, I'm going to just let myself dig my way out slowly but surely and recognize that my new dawn will come again, okay? Acceptance, okay? There is a shift happening when you accept things as they are in this moment. This card says, I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Yes, give yourself the grace to accept the things you cannot change and give yourself instead the permission to prioritize the things that you can. Okay, Cancer. Now, in regards to what's happening for you this month, we have the Four of Wands coming up, and we also have the Two of Wands. So again, this movement I've been talking about, right? Mars is still in your sign, slowly coming out of your sign as of April 18th, but there is movement that is happening because of this. And that movement includes a celebration, a milestone, maybe it's someone's birthday that's close to you, a special anniversary, an anniversary of maybe a spiritual commitment you made, a self-love, self-care journey you're on. It could be anything, but there is a milestone, there's a celebration that is coming in. And Cancer, if there isn't one that you can think of, there is a milestone that you have passed recently, potentially, that you have not embraced yet or have chosen to recognize. And this is also a problem, honey. You're not just here to just give. It's time to give back to thyself and celebrate, okay? So let yourself do that. Now, Cancers, there's potentially also traveling as well happening this month for you. But more importantly, there is a vision. There is something you've been working on, this idea you've been kind of jotting notes about. Maybe you've been making vision boards about it, writing out in detail petitions about this plan, but you haven't really launched anything in the physical just yet. This card illuminates that that is going to change, okay? There is going to be finally a push. Maybe you're gonna finally have the confidence because now that you've celebrated something, you're like, you know what? I actually got a lot of things to do. I have a lot of blessings to claim. I have a lot of blessings to share, and they're gonna keep coming up. And I have to be okay with that. Let me keep celebrating this one while also recognizing that I am ready for this next step in this new adventure, okay? So Cancers, be open to receiving, be open and fluid enough to be transformed because the divine is putting you number one in the line, honey. Remember, Cancer, this is your lane. It is your race. It is always at your pace, and therefore you are always on time. And once you can accept that, the floodgates will open, okay? And all these amazing things will come through. Cancers, again, that new moon in Taurus is a really great time for you to put some things into motion, you know? Really put some things into motion, have faith, have trust, and just show up and do your part. Really and truly, that's it. Okay, Leos, you are getting a few cards that are jumping out right now. Leos, I feel like you guys are going through a lot of things low-key that no one's really talking about. I feel like because we've had these retrogrades in the element of fire for a little bit, Leos, you have been deep in your feelings and maybe kind of at a standstill as well, as you could be potentially, mourning some things that you thought you were over, but you're not, it seems. Okay, here we go. Ooh, okay. Okay, Leo, let's get into this reading. Leo, the cards we have for you are, the Two of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Devil is here as well, honey, and the Magician. So just from these cards alone, Leo, you have been going through some stuff, okay? To me, the Two of Swords is about being at the crossroads. I don't really know if I want to stay. I don't really know if I want to go either. As of right now, I'm going to stay put and think about it. And you have been thinking about it, Leo, because deep down your heart hurts by this potential decision you know you really have to make. And so while you have been sitting on this decision, okay, you've been taking your time, you know, really thinking about this and really outweighing your pros and cons. Is this thing worth holding on to, or should I turn around and start over? The Page of Pentacles reminds us to have patience, okay? And to know that our efforts are being matched regardless of what we are asking ourselves about. However, Leo, these two cards were accompanied by the Devil and the Magician, which is a really interesting polarizing card. So listen, Leo, I'm gonna give it to you straight. Your power is your strength. But if you don't learn how to transcend your power, okay, and alchemize it, because you're so emotionally charged with a lot of things, you're so emotionally invested in a lot of things, it can be your downfall. Okay, Leos? This month of April is understanding that, first of all, you have a very powerful tongue, and the words that you speak come to fruition a lot of times, whether you want to believe that or not. And so if you don't want a certain outcome, stop speaking on it. Okay, this Devil card is about detoxing and detaching from the things that we are becoming overly obsessed with, okay? The things that have our shadow side crashing out, okay, which does not serve us, to be quite honest. Not in this season, at least, okay? And it's also about detoxing, okay? Having the strength to walk away from the things that are trying to distract us from destiny. You are the Magician. So even though this Devil card is here, you have so much power, Leo, that you can turn things around very, very quickly. But first you have to start moving from this space, okay? Move from this crossroads. It's gonna be a long journey, honestly, Leo. I feel like this whole thing is gonna unfold throughout the month entirely. And it's because you have yourself in this kind of like this dark space. I'm gonna show you the oracle cards I pulled for you. We have the Blame card here, and we also have Loneliness here. So Leos, you are only responsible for your own actions, okay? You are not responsible for the actions of anybody else. So you need to stop thinking like things could have changed or things could have happened in a different way. That is not up to you. We cannot control everything around us. Trying to do that is just going to drive us crazy. Okay? And you are never alone, Leo, just as this card says. I know that I am never alone. Leo, you have a whole army of angels and ancestors that are walking beside you, okay? Behind you, on your sides, your front, your back, your center, okay? Anchor yourself in that, honey. Take back control of the power of your tongue. And instead of blaming yourself and weakening yourself, start having some compassion for yourself and reminding yourself that you are doing the best you can with what you have. And you are no longer staying in agreement with the energy of lack, with the energy of blame, with the energy of anxiety, with the energy of paranoia, okay? With the energy of loneliness, okay? With the energy of isolation. These agreements are void. Write these things down, Leo, burn the paper, throw it out the window, or, well, in the grass or somewhere safe, okay, outside, and sweep it all off your balcony too, off your floors, off your pavement, out of your house, okay? And change the story. The rest is still unwritten, as our homegirl would say, okay? So stop holding on to this past and replaying the same damn tune. It's time to sing a new song, honey, okay? It's time to sing a new song. Okay, Virgo sun, moon, and risings. My dearest Virgos, I hope that Taurus season treats you with the most luxury, the most beautiful things you desire, okay? The most clean, luxurious aesthetic you desire, whatever that might look like for you. Virgo, your ruling planet has been retrograde for a little bit of time now and is finally going direct this month. So you are probably going to feel way more like yourself. And also, probably with more peace as well in your heart space. Now, Virgos, your cards for the month ahead of April, we have the 7 of Pentacles and we have the 3 of Cups. So Virgos, first of all, you are busy. Your work is working. Whatever changes you have been doing behind the scenes during this retrograde season and eclipse season, Virgos, just know that it is working, okay? And the proof is in the pudding. It is showing in the numbers, okay? The growth is here. The change is here. The shift is here. Remember that what you focus on, Virgos, is what's going to grow, okay? You know better than anybody that you have a very powerful mind, okay? And that works so well to your advantage when you're tapped in with it. So Virgos, keep doing whatever you're doing. Your routine is working for you. It's balanced. It's great. It's bringing in the results you desire. Love that for you. Now, Virgo, Spirit wants you to sort of focus actually though, outside of the hustle space this month and really focus on your community and your loved ones. Your loved ones miss you. You might have been a bit of a isolation sort of, incognito mode, okay, essentially, during this retrograde and eclipse season. But baby, this is now the real bloom of spring. It's time to sprung out, okay? It's time to be outside. And we have for you, Virgos, the 3 of Cups here. So Virgos, it's time to reconnect with your friends, your loved ones, and have a good time. Let your hair down. Go dance, okay? And have a good time and celebrate the beauty that is friendship, sisterhood, brotherhood, familyhood, covenanthood, whatever it is, okay? Celebrate it because you deserve that. Now, with that being said, Virgos, the theme of empathy and being unbiased, okay, is going to be very important for you. And this will probably happen more around the full moon in Libra because that's really what the Libra moon's about. But we have for you the card of empathy saying, I am open to seeing both sides of situations. So Virgos, maybe when you're out with your friends this month or with your loved ones, there could be a situation where you are playing the mediator for a moment and are going to be looked towards to have support, okay? So Virgos, just remember that everybody can't do things like you, and there's a reason for that, okay? There is a method to your madness, and yes, I'm calling it madness, and everybody can't do that, People need their friends, and you have to understand, Virgo, that one thing about community, you have to be open to community by being open to sometimes being in a space of inconvenience. And by that, I mean, maybe when you're about to get into your bath, one of your really close friends calls you and is asking for your support or your point of view on something. There's a reason why people come to you, Virgo, okay? And so it's important for you to remember that. It's also important for you to have empathy in your other relationships as well, okay? If you have been in isolation for a little bit, not responding to texts the way you used to, not responding to calls or emails, being delayed with things because you're in your own world, Virgo, that's fine. But you also have to give that same grace to people, okay? Because it goes both ways. You can't expect a whole lot of grace and what have you while you out here trying to humble people like a strict sergeant, okay, Virgo? So be gentle with your people, and when you're gentle with your people will be gentle with you, okay? Yes. Okay, Libras, sun, moon, risings. Libras, this is a big month for you, my dears, because your ruling planet is stationed direct this month, and you also have a full moon happening this month in your sign, Libra. So Libra, this is going to be a month of aha moments, I believe, a month of release, a month of deep reflection, and overall probably going to be a very personal, intimate month relating to your spiritual journey, your spiritual growth even, and just overall what you want for yourself in your life. Like, what are you committing to in this next year of Venus cycle that we're in? Okay, what's the tea here? Let's see. Libras, the first card we have for you, my dear, is the Two of Pentacles, okay, followed by the Chariot and the Strength card. So Libras, this month is all about trusting the divine's timing. Trusting the divine's timing. This is a huge, huge theme for you, Libras, this month, okay? But first, let's talk about this Two of Pentacles. This usually tells us we're picking up our speed. Business is growing, okay? If you work maybe part-time, more shifts are coming up for you, okay? But you are becoming more booked and busy. So as a reminder, Libras, don't overcommit yourself to too many things, okay? Ease back into your schedule, ease back into your routines, okay? And don't make it so packed. Like, don't make the schedule so jam-packed that you can't breathe, okay? Because then you're not gonna be productive, and because you're not being productive, you're then gonna get in your head and think over about all these things you didn't accomplish, and then you'll start spiraling, and this whole thing is gonna start that really doesn't have to, okay? So Libras, make sure that you are allowing yourself to not be too busy, have some breathing space, okay? And remember that this month is all about balance, balancing your needs and the needs of others. Your needs come first. So this season's really about boundaries as well. Now, Libras, the Chariot and the Strength card. The Chariot is about divine intervention and allowing the divine to lead you where you are meant to be led. Stop trying to drift off the path, Libra. You're about to crash out. Okay, let the divine lead you. They've gotten you this far safely. Remember that you have been crowned, Libra, okay? You have the divine's anointing. So know that wherever you're being led, whatever is exciting you this month, Libra, follow that, because that thing is heavily connected to your purpose here, okay? We also have the Strength card. So Libra, as excited as you are, okay, yes, the plans are going direct. Yes, there are some things that are happening, but there's still a long way to go. And I feel like for Libras, when Venus finally enters Aries at the end of this month, you might feel better or maybe even lighter and really see that real growth starting to take place. But I feel like even as we go into the following month of May, when we slowly move out of Taurus season and into Gemini season, that Aries sun element is really going to push you forward, I believe. So Libras, take your time with everything going on and allow yourself to be led, and don't over consume your your social agenda, okay? Allow yourself to still have some breathing space. Libra, we have the Purpose card coming up as well for you from the Oracle. I know what I am here to do. So Libras, the clarity, the conversations with the divine, your divine team, your guides, whatever, is going to be loud, okay? The guidance is going to be loud and clear. Surrender to it, be obedient, trust the divine timing, and know that whatever is being redirected in your life at this time is divine protection, not rejection, okay? All right, Libras. Moving on to our Scorpios. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Risings. Your cards jumped out immediately, Scorpios. I love that for us. Scorpios, I say for us, but I mean y'all. Scorpios, what is going on? We are entering Taurus season, which means we are entering the season where we will have a full moon in your sign. That will happen next month though, so very, very soon. But with that being said, Scorpio, in the first week of April, we actually do have a lot of water element in the cosmos. We've got a first or a third quarter moon, a first quarter moon in Cancer. We've got Venus and Mercury stationing direct in Pisces. And we also have a conjunction of Saturn to the North Node in Pisces happening as well. So Scorpios, there is still a lot of movement in the cosmos currently that are going to bring in some news, some good news, some good news. Some things are changing for you, I believe, this month, Scorpio. The cards we have for you are the Six of Wands and the High Priestess. So yes, Scorpios, High Priestess, your intuition is off the charts, okay? Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to your spirits. Spend more time at the altar. Spend more time in meditation. Spend more time in prayer. Spend more time in solitude. Scorpio, as a reminder, whatever you're working on does not need to have the approval or validation from anybody, okay? You do not need validation from anybody. So whatever you're working on, keep it to yourself. Not everything that is divine about you is to be exposed, honey. Keep some for yourself, okay? Move in silence. Discernment is key. Yes, there are good news coming in. The Six of Wands is showing us there is some good news coming in. There is a change in a few different situations that felt like nothing was really gonna happen, okay? That's all changing now, Scorpio. But with that being said, keep that good news to yourself. Whatever that celebration is, whatever that breakthrough is, whatever that exposure is, whatever it is, okay, just make sure you are keeping it to yourself for a little bit before you expose it, okay? Celebrate for yourself and tap in. Your guides are really calling you to spend more time with them this month, Scorpio. And for the Oracle card, we have happiness. So Scorpio, this card says, I'm aware that being happy means that I am on the right path, okay? So Scorpio, when you feel just at ease and that magnetic powerful force you have where everything is just lining up super easily, Scorpio, this energy attracts everything you desire, okay? So keeping that high vibration is very important, and the best way to do that is to have firm boundaries. Scorpio, you might also want to do a spiritual bath this month, or a couple at least, just to fine tune some things. But yes, whatever good news you have coming up this month, Scorpio, keep it to yourself. Don't share the news. Keep it to yourself, and that includes family and friends, loved ones, best friends, BFFs, favorite pet, I don't care. Okay, you can probably tell your pet, but the rest you should keep on the down low. Keep it to yourself, okay? Protect your peace, all right? And know that that peace you feel, that ease you feel is the confirmations you have been seeking, okay, Scorpio? Okay, moving on to our Sagittariuses. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Sagittarius, I am pulling some more cards for you because I am seeing that there is a major, there is a major shift going on, but with this shift comes a new dawn as well. Sagittarius, this month we have a lot of things going on still in mutable signs. So the beginning of, of this month can feel a little tense, but with these planets, Mercury and Venus, both going direct, Sagittarius, there is something that is becoming disconnected at this time. And because this disconnect is finally happening, Sagittarius, you are able to start anew. There has been a new cycle you've been calling in, and it will come in, but you really have to kind of catch up to what's going on here. So let's talk about it. We have for you, Sagittarius, the Nine of Swords, the World, and the Ace of Wands. So Sagittarius, this thing has been creating so much blockages, distractions, drought, dryness, lack, okay? And that is all opposite of who you are, honestly and truly. And it's been keeping you up at night. It's got you waking up tired, going to bed tired, looking a hot mess, okay? Getting all these anxious thoughts again and overthinking and not being able to focus on the things you set your mind to complete, let's say, from the last month. Now, because you have been choosing to kind of stay in this space rather than get it out and sever ties, the divine is going to do it for you. Okay, and that is why we have here the Nine of Swords showing this dis-ease, which we, again, showing up spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, especially emotionally, Sagittarius. But then we also have the World card here, okay? So this ugly cry is going to bring a release that really, really needs to happen, okay, Sagittarius? I'm sorry, but it needs to happen. But on the other side of that, honey, we have the Ace of Wands. So this is a clearing. This is a clearing, okay? This weight, this ick had to show up for you to be ready to walk away, to say, you know what? I have learned everything I have meant to learn from this cycle. Thank you so much, Divine Team, for this lesson and this wisdom. I will take it with me moving forward onto this new path, okay? There's going to be an aha moment, a light bulb moment where you finally get the clues all together, okay? And it starts to make sense and you set yourself free. Sagittarius, the oracle cards we have for you are denial and indecision. So I don't know if this person just got you under a spell, Sagittarius, but the denial card says, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness, okay? Yes. And the indecision card says, I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So Sagittarius, denial is a river in Egypt, and that's it. You know exactly who you are, okay? And you know exactly how to recognize the things you don't know for sure, and to leave that unknowingness in the divine's hands, okay? And to rest there, because in that unknowingness is where possibilities are birthed. It doesn't have to be something negative. It could be something positive. What was is not what will be. A new cycle is starting. Don't move in fear anymore. I actually feel like you guys are past this and are now finally coming into this, but you still have all this doubt in your mind that these things are going to work out for you. Okay, so as a reminder, Sagittarius, for this month ahead, make sure you are leaning on your intuition, okay? Make sure you are not going to too many external sources for an answer even, because when we do that, Sagittarius, when we're in such a heightened, overwhelming kind of energy, we start to take in everyone's ideas and solutions. And sometimes those ideas and solutions aren't really what is best for us. So Sagittarius, take the time to ground yourself this month. Do like a weekly Epsom salt bath, you know, ground yourself, okay? Comfort foods, all the good things like that, so that you can get through this month ahead and not be so hard on yourself, you know? Like, things are changing. Slowly but surely, things are changing, okay? And you know what to do. Maybe you're afraid to do it, but you know what to do, okay? Know that. Okay, moving on. Capricorns, Capricorn, sun, moon, rising. Capricorn, sun, moon, rising. What do we have for you this month ahead? Capricorn, I am seeing a lot of really great changes for you. I'm seeing a lot of great shifts that are happening for you in these cards. In regards to the cosmos, Capricorn, your planetary ruler, Saturn, will be conjunct to the North Node in Pisces this month, and will be going exact in this conjunction as of April, what did I say? I think it's April 19th. Yes, as of April 19th. So, no, April 21st. So, Capricorn, this is a month where things start to come together. Things start to make sense. Now, with that being said, Capricorn, I feel like you are just ready to move on to some new things, and you're kind of over, you know, the old timeline. Like, you know, you've outgrown this old timeline and you're ready to step into the new. Now, with that being said, Capricorn, I'm going to show you these cards I've pulled for you, okay? The Fool shows up first, then we have the Three of Wands, then we have the Magician card, okay? And lastly, from the tarot, we have the King of Pentacles. So Capricorn, first of all, these are a lot of beautiful cards, okay? They all have that nice golden yellow background talking about the solar plexus, okay, and attraction. And so first of all, Capricorn, boom, a new cycle is starting. This is wonderful. This new cycle could be actually a portal that you're walking through physically, and that is what creates the new cycle to form. And I say that because we have the Three of Wands coming here as well. So Capricorns, this could signify travel, far travel, taking a break from the status quo, you know, the matrix itself, and allowing yourself to step into a new space. And in that new space, there is a different version of self that exists there. And that version of self is the Magician, the King of Pentacles, where our words mean things. Our words are our wand, and we know that. And so with more ease each day, the things that we call in come to our doorsteps, okay? Capricorn, you are going to be reminded this month, the power that is in you, the power that you carry, okay? And recognize your worth. Recognize your worth. I feel like Capricorn, you're taking a big break, maybe from work itself, and maybe going on a vacation that is very much overdue. And with that vacation, being away from that old space, being from that other physical space and stepping into this other timeline, you've recognized, like, oh my gosh, there is so much more I actually want for myself. And it's none of the things I have been doing up to this point. It's time to go in a new direction, okay? And that new direction could be completely out of your comfort zone per se, but it's going to push you into the space of confidence, because you're going to realize, you know, you affirm your own magic by believing in yourself. And by believing in yourself, you attract more of that goodness, okay? Of that King of Pentacles energy. Stability, strong opportunities of abundance, long-term abundance is coming your way, Capricorn. And this could all be taking place under the new moon in Taurus, of course, because it is a new moon happening in your element, the element of earth, or it could simply be happening throughout the entire month. Whatever it is, Capricorn, just know that this new journey, this new cycle is about to start, is one that serves your higher self. Now, Capricorn, the oracle cards I pulled for you are the following, which seem really opposite to your tarot, okay? The first one says failure, but it says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn, okay? That's the first one. And the second one, Capricorn, says judgment. I understand that everyone has their unique path and challenges, okay? So Capricorn, this is the energy you're leaving behind, okay? These are the things you're releasing. And maybe when you go to this other space, you're going to do a release ritual to fully remove this bind to you spiritually, okay? Your mistakes do not define you. Your mistakes do not define you, okay? You are allowed to be a noob at new things, Capricorn. Things that you're starting for the first time, you're not going to be the greatest at. What matters is that you show up. What matters is that you have the confidence and courage to walk the path and follow the calling. What matters is that you answer the call and pick up your wand. And what matters is that you trust the divine and rest in the sweetness that is there for you. Judging yourself, okay, and telling yourself these things aren't in alignment for you is not doing you any favors. It's time for you to move away from this energy and step into this brightness here that's coming in, okay? You have so many new opportunities coming for you, Capricorn, and you will get better at these new things that you're trying out for the first time, but you're gonna have to stop being so hard on yourself and allow yourself to have some fun, you know, allow yourself to have some fun and just go with it, okay? Your words are your wand. What you focus on is what grows, Capricorn. This new vacation, this traveling, okay, this new opportunity, this new journey, this new calling has you so excited, even though you don't really feel like you know what you're doing. And that's how you know it's really in alignment, because you are following your highest excitement. And that is what matters most, okay? Boom. Moving on to my Aquariuses. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. What is happening for my Aquarius, sun, moon, risings? Aquarius, something really interesting is going to happen this month for you. We have your 2 ruling planets coming together in a sextile the first week of April. And this is really interesting, Aquarius, because I feel like for you, you're gonna have a shift, you're gonna have an aha moment where, you know, the clarity you have been seeking is finally received, and you're finally able to rest potentially in this, okay? But let's see what the divine has to say. Let's see. Ooh, child. Anything else for Aquarius, sun, moon, risings? Is that it? Okay, I think that's it. Okay. Aquarius. So this month ahead for you is all about self-love. It's all about pouring into yourself and pouring into your visions, pouring into the vision that you have been holding on to since childhood, okay? Pouring into the inner child, actually, is also a major theme for you at this time. There is a lot going on for you, Aquarius, and it's almost like you don't believe what's happening. It's almost like you've been in such a run for so long, you don't believe that things are about to get this good, which is sad, because you are worthy of having good things, Aquarius. Don't you know that? Don't self-sabotage, Aquarius, okay? Aquarius, the first card we have for you, which is actually a repeated card to the collective, denial, okay? I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. And the second card we have for you is doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. So yeah, Aquarius, you have been trying to grip onto a certain reality for a really long time, a certain idea for a really long time, a certain mindset for a really long time. And that mindset was fear. That mindset was doubt. That mindset was denial, okay? But especially fear. But now that you are finally in a space of, okay, well, sitting here and this is not going to change anything. How do I change this? Okay, first things first, 10 of Cups. You have to believe you are worthy of the visions and the things that you are calling in. If you don't believe in yourself, Aquarius, just check out now. Okay, you need to believe in yourself. The Sun card is here, thyself, the inner child. Okay, look at these 2 cards, Aquarius. What do these cards bring to you? What joy do these cards bring to you? When was the last time you tapped into joy, Aquarius? Okay, you need to have some fun time, some playtime this month so that you can get back to yourself. You haven't been feeling like yourself for a long time. It's time to shake off this ick. Take a spiritual bath and shake it off. Aquarius, we also have the Emperor card here. So it's time for you to remember that you call the shots, honey. You call the shots. Now, Aquarius, we do have a full moon in Libra happening, which is a air sign like you. So this would actually be a really good full moon for you to work with in regards to reflection and meditation, and fine tuning, creating some affirmations for yourself, listening to subliminals for yourself that will help your subconscious mind get into the mindset it needs to of aligning with this energy, okay? It's time for you to be selfish, Aquarius, and really focus on what you've got going on for you. Stop trying to pour into everybody else, Aquarius. Pour into yourself, okay? Release this idea that you have complete control over other people and what they choose to do. You don't, okay? And stop focusing on what you can't do and what you can't control and creating all this fear around it, okay? Replace that fear with faith. Faith over fear, Aquarius. Faith over fear, honey, okay? Okay, last but not least, Pisces. Oh my goodness, Pisces, sun, moon, risings. Pisces, we have 2 planets moving direct in your sign this month, okay? We have Mercury moving direct in Pisces this month, and we also have Venus moving direct in Pisces this month. So Pisces, this is a month where some of the things that got tied up in your season, okay, which ended a while ago, could be making their rounds back to you at this time. And this could be a time where you are finally, letting go and releasing that timeline. Either your own doing or the divine's doing, it doesn't really matter. This is just how things roll at times. Now, Pisces, in regards to that, it seems like there's going to be a really important conversation that happens, a conversation about forgiveness, a conversation about cleansing, releasing, and maybe even moving forward. I don't know. Let's see what we have for you, Pisces. Okay. We have for the Pisces, let me see if Spirit wants to pull one more card. Spirit, is there another card? Any other cards? Anything else you want to say to the Pisces, sun, moon, risings? Okay, boom. Yes. So, Pisces, we have for you the Ace of Swords, we have the Death card here, and we also have the 2 of Wands here as well. So Pisces, there is again a conversation that's going to happen. Mercury goes direct in your sign on the 7th of April. So that week of April could be a portal of discomfort, maybe, because these conversations aren't likely going to be very comfortable, but it will bring an opportunity for a new beginning. But before something new can start, something old has to die first. Let the dead things go, Pisces. We are literally in spring, okay? We are in spring. Taurus season is coming. A new dawn is rising. We have the 2 of Wands here for you, Pisces. So Pisces, you could also be doing some traveling this month, but more importantly, there is a new path that is forming at this time. Something that you've been taking on, something that you've been creating is finally starting to take up more space, and you are showing up in that space too, which is wonderful. So Pisces, keep focusing on that path and let these old things go. This conversation could be bringing closure. This conversation could be you getting closure to somebody else. But Pisces, it's important that you let this thing go so you can finally focus and commit to this path, Pisces. We have Saturn, the North Node, conjunct in your sign, exact on April 21st. So there is going to be this pressure you're going to feel from Saturn that says, listen, you owe it to yourself. You committed to these things, but you have to put in the work to see it through, okay? And the card we have for you about that from the Oracle is service, okay? I feel good when I can help others. Service, okay? Help yourself, Pisces. This has been a huge thing for you for a while, is helping thyself. Having those boundaries to help thyself. When you can help yourself and pour into your cup fully until it overflows, okay? That is when you can then help others. The other card we have for you, Pisces, is surrender. I can release my need to control. Pisces, it's time to release your need to control. You cannot control that this thing is gone. You cannot control that this thing is over. It served its purpose though, okay? It served its purpose. Mourning takes time, and that's okay. Surrender to the mourning. Let yourself have that ugly cry. Do what you have to do, baby. Do what you have to do so that when this comes in, you feel ready and you're not dragging your feet going into it, okay? Surrender to this process of decay, of release, of shedding, okay? Have the conversation, have your you know, so you got to say, release the throat chakra, okay? Cut whatever cords you have to as well, okay? Get it all off your chest and then move forward, okay? You're going to feel so much better once you do that. And you'll realize that the people you do have around you are people worthy of your service, are people worthy of your time, of your energy. All right? Thank you guys so much for tuning into this. I love you so much. I appreciate all your support. You know where to find me if you're looking to have a personal reading or join the coven to dive further into the cosmos, the cards, the conjure, and community. It's all happening on patreon.com/LilyMoon. Otherwise, I will catch you next time. Bye. Mwah.